I've had the Apple Watch Series 7 for a little while now, and I wanted to give my experience since I'm actually upgrading from an Apple Watch Series 4, which I'm guessing a lot of you may be doing. So is it actually worth upgrading, or should you just wait for the next one? Well, all will be revealed in this video. Hello everyone, my name's Mike, and here at Tech Car Moon we uncover Apple tech and Apple related tech. So hit that subscribe button if that's what you're into. The design has remained basically unchanged since the Series 4. Yes, it might be a millimeter or two taller than the other one, but realistically on the wrist it feels identical. I've got the Apple Watch Series 7 in the 45mm aluminium model, and it's the non-cellular model. My Series 4 was the cellular model, but since working from home I haven't actually needed any of the cellular features. The casing is slightly more curvy compared to the Series 4, 5 and 6, but it's hardly noticeable. One thing that I am slightly annoyed about is the more muted colours like the space grey and silver are gone from the aluminium models, which means that you're going to have to go for the stainless steel versions to get the black or the silver colours. I think that this is Apple's way to try to drive more sales to the more premium materials. The midnight blue, I have to say, isn't too bad, and most of the time I actually forget that there's that tinge of blue in it, but I still would have preferred a space grey aluminium model. The screen looks great. It's meant to be about 70% brighter with the always on display, but its peak brightness is identical with the Series 4, Series 5 and Series 6 generations. This is also going to be the same for the sharpness of the display too. Now, as you can see here, we've got the always on display in obviously the indoor mode, and yes, it's slightly brighter than the previous versions, but I wouldn't say it's something that you're going to be saying it's night and day different. I will say that with the more full screen color displays, watch faces, it is slightly more noticeable than the monochromatic watch faces or the infograph style watch faces. I didn't really notice a difference. Now, the biggest change on the screen is obviously its size. It's 20% larger than the Series 4, 5 and 6. This allows for content on the screen to be a little bit larger and bolder, making it easier to read without losing the amount of content on the screen itself. Because of the larger screen, you also get a swipe keyboard for messaging. I didn't actually think I would find this useful, but when I was in public and didn't want to reply using my phone or Siri on the Apple Watch, this was actually really useful, and it was more useful than the swiping keyboard thing that was available on the previous Apple Watches. And I have to say that the predictive text on this thing was surprisingly accurate. I am a little bit disappointed that there wasn't really any difference in showing more content with emails and other apps. The only difference I saw was that you actually saw more of your messages, like iMessages, meaning that you didn't have to do as much scrolling to read, but hopefully other apps will optimize for this later on. But right now they didn't really make better use of the larger screen. It just made things look a little bit larger. So covering this screen is Apple's most durable glass yet. The front crystal is over twice as thick at its tallest point than the Apple Watch Series 6. Now, I don't know about you, I've yet to crack an Apple Watch after owning one for 4 years or so, but I will say I have scratched an Apple Watch though. Now, if you are someone who isn't the most careful with their stuff, then I would say go for the stainless steel version, as this is a lot tougher than the aluminium version. Or if you plan on keeping your Apple Watch for more than sort of 3 or 4 years, then I would probably recommend the stainless steel version as well, because obviously it's going to be more durable. The Apple Watch Series 7 is also IP6X dust resistant and WR20 water resistant, meaning that you can take your watch on a dusty hike or, for example, on a long swim, and you'll be more than safe with it. In terms of the health monitoring features, it's actually the same as the Series 6. I have to be honest, I'm not someone who uses them often. Like, I will try a lot of them once a year or so, and just to check my health, but the most that I actually use is probably the pedometer and some of the sort of steps and calorie tracking. Those are sort of the features that I actually use on the Apple Watch, which, to be fair, the Series 4 does fine. When comparing the Series 7 to the Series 5 and Series 4, you get the blood oxygen sensor and the always-on barometric altimeter. Now, the heart monitoring itself is actually better on the Series 6 and Series 7 than the Series 5, 4 and obviously 3, as it's got Apple's third generation optical heart sensor. Now, let's talk about battery life. Well, there's actually nothing much to talk about because it's no different to the Series 4 or Series 5 or Series 6. They actually haven't made any improvements, which is really a shame. Now, they did make a big and welcome change to the charging because it's 33% faster to charge than the previous models. This is thanks to a new charger and it finally using USB-C, but you will need a 20-watt adapter, so make sure you have one on hand. Just charging this watch for just 8 minutes will allow you to have over 8 hours of sleep tracking information, which has saved me a few times and has got me actually into bed earlier, as I do love the sleep tracking features and I hate going to bed without my Apple Watch not tracking my sleep. It also takes around 45 minutes to go from 0% all the way up to 80%, which is much quicker than the previous model. The funny thing is that even though this has the S7 chip, which makes it sound like it's a newer chip, this is actually a rebranded S6 chip from the Series 6, and compared to the Series 4, I have to be honest, I couldn't tell a difference in terms of performance. Maybe in certain Apple Watch applications you might notice it, but honestly, how hard are you really pushing an Apple Watch? Now, there's no onboard Siri processing on the Apple Watch like you see on the new iPhones, which is a little bit of a shame, as I would have liked that to be implemented in the new Apple Watch Series 7. Maybe we'll see it with the Series 8. Now, you do get a few improvements like the U1 chip, which I think Apple will implement more and more, as we're starting to see the U1 chip being really important for Find My applications and stuff like that. The Series 4 doesn't come with the built-in compass, so if you are a hiker and you do use a compass, then you will find this Apple Watch a little bit more useful. And if you like to store music on your Apple Watch, you do actually get double the storage from 16 to 32 gigabytes. If you, however, have the Series 5 or Series 6, you already have the 32 gigabytes of memory and the compass feature, so there's not really any difference. Now, you may have watched this review so far and thought that I'm being a little bit negative with the Series 7, and honestly, I don't mean to be, but I'm looking at it from someone who is upgrading from a Series 4 to obviously the latest generation, and after waiting around 3 or 4 years, my expectations was probably a little bit high. Now, look, this is a great watch. If this is your first Apple Watch, well, you're just going to be super happy with it. If you're upgrading from a Series 3 and looking to upgrade, then again, this is going to be a huge upgrade. But if you are a Series 4, Series 5 or Series 6 owner, then honestly, I would just wait another year. Yes, for Series 4 owners, there are a lot more improvements than, let's say, from going from a Series 5 or a Series 6. For example, if you are using things like the always on display and all the other sort of health monitoring features like the blood oxygen sensors and stuff like that, then you are going to find this watch a big upgrade. But for me, it just wasn't a big enough upgrade. The thing is, for me, I don't use the watch for its ECG or blood oxygen features, and the always on altimeter and the compass feature, as well as the extra storage, just really aren't things that I use in a day-to-day basis. I use my Apple Watch to read emails and messages quickly and to reply to them without getting distracted by my phone. I also take a lot of phone calls on my Apple Watch too, and I also use it, like I said, to track my sleep and also give me reminders to stand up as I'm working from home and I have a standing desk. I also use my Apple Watch for HomeKit control features, as my home is a smart home, and from time to time I do use the swipe keyboard features, and obviously to tell the time. And the Series 4 does all of that absolutely fine. Yes, the keyboard and the bigger screen and the faster charging on the Series 7 could be worth it for me, but the fact that it doesn't have any improvements on battery life and the design hasn't changed just makes me feel like there's not really that much wrong with my Series 4 to actually make the Series 7 make it a worthwhile upgrade, especially for some certain models that Apple are charging for. For me, the battery life on the Series 4 is still fine and will last for another year, and for me, I think it's going to be worth waiting another year or so to get the new design and potentially new health monitoring features that I actually might find useful. But right now, this is a very small upgrade, even going from the Series 4. Now look, this is my review, and I have taken a very personal approach with this, and it is very different to my normal reviews, but I wanted to give my raw opinions and experiences upgrading from a Series 4, and well, I'll be honest, I'm going to be sticking with my Series 4. But there we have it. As always, this is... Oh, hello. But that's it for today. As always, this is a discussion, so please leave a comment down below if you've bought the Series 7 and what watch you've upgraded to, and tell me what your experience has been using the Apple Watch Series 7. If you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TechCarMoon, drop me a like on this video if you've enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell to see more from me. But if you want to see more from me right now, you guys know what to do. There are 2 fantastic videos right over here. I spent a lot of time making them, so go ahead, click on it. Anyway, everyone else, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.